I've done is I've outlined $1 billion in tax cuts. Illinois has become too expensive a place to live, work, and do business, which is why we've lost an estimated 700,000 people and jobs in this state. The public sector has grown beyond the private sector's ability to pay for it. I've called for the elimination of the sales tax on gasoline. We're one of the few states that double taxes gasoline on Illinois families and businesses. This is a regressive tax that moves purchases out of our state. We have studies to show that if we eliminate that tax within 2 or 3 years, the economic advantage will regenerate itself so that we will overcome the loss in revenues and have a gain shortly. I've also called for the elimination of the estate tax penalty, which has pushed many of our retirees to relocate to other states. So our retirees are some of our wealthiest assets in many ways, and we have to stop putting policies in place that force them, for financial reasons, to leave the state that they lived in for so many years. We have to re-energize Illinois' economy. To bring the 700,000 jobs back, we need business investment. To get business investment, we need to make Illinois a competitive place to live and work. That's what I've talked about, that's what I'm going to talk about. It's not just those taxes. We also have to reduce the regulatory burdens that have forced so many large business investments outside of the state, to states that were more willing to accept those investments in a timely fashion. In addition to that, we need to work on reforms within our tort reform system, our workers' compensation, and others. Illinois is a state that is richer in assets than any state in this nation. The problem is the people who've been running the state of Illinois have been running it like a bad business. They fail to utilize the resources that we have and foster business investment utilizing those assets. I truly believe with the right policies in place, I can make Illinois lead this nation to the forefront of this economic recovery.
Upstairs a few moments ago, Senator Dillard joked that there's an office for you to rent now in the suburbs. How are you going to get your message out in the suburbs so voters don't know you as well?
Well, the same way we did it in the primary around the state. I mean, let's face it, we had a great grassroots effort. I wouldn't be here today, you wouldn't be here today if I showed up, if it had not been for the strong grassroots support that we achieved in this campaign in every county of this, in this race, in every county in this state. But it was important to us strategically to win this primary, which meant we needed to spend our resources in areas where we could strategically gain this victory. We will have the resources not only to continue our grassroots effort through our listening tour and our jobs tour throughout this campaign, but we'll have the resources to deliver the paid message. For those of you in the TV arena, you'll be happy to know that you'll probably receive some checks this time from the Brady campaign. But there's no question that the inability to purchase TV and radio time in Cook, in the city, and the suburbs affected our ability to get our message out. I don't think we'll have a problem. I find that the people across the state believe in the same thing. They want a government that works for the people, a government that will bring jobs and keep jobs in Illinois, a government that will live within its means, and a government that won't dig into the pockets of the taxpayers when they fail to do what they should do.
Senator, how would you respond to the frequent suggestion that perhaps you're too far to the right, too conservative for a state like Illinois to win statewide?
Yeah, I would simply say that I am what I am, but the people of Illinois are starving for a candidate who will focus on jobs, who will focus on the economy, who will make government work for the people. As I said earlier, this campaign is about jobs, 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 and reform, reform, reform. That's what the people want. I'm going to provide the leadership that will give them that. And that's what we're going to show is differences between ourselves and the Quinn campaign.
But Governor Quinn says the tax increase is about jobs. Without it, thousands of teachers will be laid off. Social workers will be unemployed. How do you answer that claim?
The governor is about creating public sector jobs at the expense of the private sector. You cannot find a state in this nation that can exist with bloated, inefficient government. I think we can better manage our resources. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Quinn, who promised to balance the budget 12 months ago, just last week released that he failed. He released that he had built up a $2.5 billion 12-month deficit. Now, in the entire Blagojevich-Quinn administration, 6 years, they had built up an accumulation of $3.5 billion. We need a governor who's going to apply business practices to operating state government. A governor who will focus on our core responsibilities. We can do this and we must do this. Governor Quinn's 50% tax increase will simply push business investments to states like Indiana, Missouri, Wisconsin, Kentucky, Tennessee. We need to reduce the tax burden. I'm sorry to say this, but Governor Quinn is dead wrong on this issue.
Your running mate is a political newcomer, Jason Plummer, and he's had a few stumbles. Do you view his inexperience as a liability to your campaign?
I view his youth and his vigor as an asset. You know, the Republican Party for far too long has not reached out to the younger generation of voters. We saw Barack Obama do a great job of that in this last election. I'm only 48 years old, but Jason Plummer will help reach out to the younger generation of voters. And when you talk about his experience, we're very similar backgrounds. I started working in a family business when I was 12 years old. My father violated the law. Jason Plummer, in a similar business, started working when he was a young man. He's built businesses along with his family and father. He understands issues. He was the youngest accomplished county chairman in this state. He understands the political background. Our partnership, I think, will not only geographically work, but will work as we look to the generation of voters that we're going to want to appeal to.
Kirk Dillard said that you have no ethical cloud whatsoever around you. Do you think that Governor Quinn has an ethical cloud around him?
No, I'm not aware of any ethical problems Governor Quinn has. I think he's made some missteps during his first 12 months. Budget deficit records, $2.5 billion. And our election is going to focus on who has the right vision and plan to deliver for the people of Illinois on jobs and reform. I think Governor Quinn failed last year in the area of delivering real reform to state government, and I think he failed in balancing the budget. These are the issues that we're going to point to, and we look forward to a cordial and healthy debate. Thank you all. God bless you.